We're in South Hadley, Massachusetts at the Dolorosa Cemetery, and we're going to go to the oldest burials within the cemetery before there was even a Dolorosa Cemetery. Before this cemetery existed out here, it was a Notre Dame cemetery that combined all this land into their own. And they let the Dolorosa Church have its burials out here until 1934, when Dolorosa bought it out. They bought out the northeast quadrant of the whole cemetery, so 3/4 is Notre Dame and 1/4 Dolorosa. So I'm going to walk into that old part and show you some of the very old stones. Alright, these are the stones that grew up around it after they purchased it. So these are 1940 stones here. Right, a beautiful one here to Victoria Sophie Roche. Now remember what I said, 1934 they purchased it and started burying their parishioners out here. We want to find that old part, so we find here the 1838. Alright, so the 30s have started. And it's very orderly, so 1938, a whole row of them. Okay, that was the individual or double burials. Here are the big family burials. Okay, now here are the old burials. So the Polish started coming to Holyoke around 1892. Here's a 1916 burial. Dolorosa Church was already erected on Lyman Street. So this old section back here are the old Polish burials, 1916. They needed good cleaning. So any burials before 1932 are really back here. If you see names on other gravestones outside of this section that are in the main body of Dolorosa Cemetery, then they're not really buried at that location. They're buried back here, and they just happen to have their name on the stone. All right, here's a grouping of very old stones, 1915. 1915, very old looking stones here. Okay, now we're going to go deeper in there. 1917 stones back here. And you can see the Notre Dame Cemetery is right there. So they put this line of trees in there for a reason, to demark where the two cemeteries are separated from each other. Alright, and as we go back, they should get older and older. Here's a 1904. I know for a fact she's not even buried in this cemetery. She's actually buried in St. Rose, South Hadley. And as we go back, you see some really, really old stones at the beginning of the 1900s. Okay? And remember what I said, 1934 is the cutoff date. We started with some stones out front. Now we're 1913. And the one, for instance, this tiny one back here is 1927. All right, then 1933, 1935. So this one came after there was a Dolorosa Cemetery, but they just wanted to have it in the back. 1914 there. So these are the old burials of the Polish within this wonderful cemetery. Okay, and there's a few back here too. Alright, so thank you for coming to this cemetery. It's always a delight to point out these interesting features. And here's looking from the back, going forwards. Okay, and thank you very much.